All right, I've never been accused of being brief, so this is going to be my challenge. Well, I am head of an agency that is the focal agency in USDA that establishes the dietary guidelines for Americans. According to statistics, 3% of you follow the dietary guidelines. 77% of you, though, are aware of them. So we have a problem, and it's obesity, and it's overweight, and the trends are growing, literally. And we have a problem with chronic disease related to diet. And we need to reverse these. And so our goal is not only to establish the dietary guidelines based on science, but it's also to establish ways to promote the science-based nutritional guidance in an engaging way, in an inviting way, in a way that ultimately changes behavior. We haven't done so well in the last 5 years. We have a chance with 2010 to change that way. And behavioral change theory and using media is what it's all about. So I'm going to talk to you about, I'll give you a snapshot of where we are going with the 2010 dietary guidelines and where we've been. And thank you very much. I didn't think if I clapped my hands, the slides would change. That's coming down the pike. Okay, oops. Here we go. So this is context. So you know, hopefully, something about the dietary guidelines for Americans. The dietary guidelines set the foundation. It's the nutrition policy for all Americans, for all federal agencies that have a health mandate. It is not only that, the basis for nutrition education that the government sponsors nutrition promotion and research. It is a joint product of USDA and HHS every 5 years. The process changes. We have the leadership at USDA for 2010. So our goal is to do a better job than HHS in 2015. The law requires updating every 5 years the dietary guidelines, as I mentioned, and they are dietary advice based on science aimed at individuals 2 and older. The whole idea here is to help prevent chronic disease and promote health. I don't know why I did this. This is taking valuable time. What we've done is communicate. We set up a way of communicating, implementing the dietary guidelines for Americans, the way we reach consumers to implement the way of building a healthy dietary pattern within the calorie content you need, to get the nutrients you need, to make it personalized and interactive is through what we created, and that is the Food Guide Pyramid. We originally created the 1992 Food Guide Pyramid, which had sort of salt at the top and a lot of other things in between, and it wasn't really well liked. In 2005, in April, we launched a reinvigorated and a revised pyramid, now called mypyramid because it's personalized, and we've had a great deal of success with it. We've had over 16 billion hits at mypyramid.gov. We have over 3 million registered users of our tools to help people determine whether they're eating according to the dietary guidelines. It is the most used .gov website in history, and that excludes, though, April 15th at IRS. Seriously. And then we also have been rated in 2009 as among the top 10 e-government performers for customer satisfaction by 4C. So we know that we've got a lot of followers in that 16 billion hits, and literally 16 million or so folks are on every month. We do know that the average is about 25 minutes of engagement using our tools every day, and in every classroom, tens of thousands of classrooms every day. These are some of the tools hopefully you're familiar with. You could be the 16 billionth and one user if you're not. We've got the MyPyramid for Kids, mypyramid, which is a Spanish translated version of MyPyramid. We created MyPyramid for Moms. We created MyPyramid for preschoolers. We have the menu planner, which is the next best thing since sliced whole wheat bread, we've been told, because it allows you to get on the system and actually add everything you've eaten in a day to figure out whether in fact you've exceeded and how you can improve your dietary intake so that you're following the dietary guidelines. We have the cost of raising a child calculator. We created that as well, and Blast Off Game is part of the MyPyramid for Kids. So we really attended to subpopulations. This is a snapshot or a screenshot of the MyPyramid menu planner just to get you an idea that you can actually get your individualized plan for you or every member of your family. If you all eat the same meal, it's easy to figure out who needs what and how much. So it's quite a very state-of-the-art tool. We created more recently our foray into social media using not only the internet and an app for what we call the myfoodipedia, which allows you to access nutrient content of foods. You can go down the supermarket aisle and hopefully not choose the Count Chocula, but choose the Honey Nut Cheerios, based on the information you can download in an app on your cell phone. It's also online as well. We ultimately want to reach all consumers where they need to make food decisions in a way that will make a change when they need to make that information, use that information. So it's through cell phones, through appliances, through cookbooks, through the supermarket, through classrooms, through just about fitness centers, healthcare. This is the goal for 2010, that we will have messages that are actionable, motivational, and consistent and based on science for 2010. We're going to overhaul all of our mypyramid.gov tools using the new guidelines in 2010, and by the end of 2011 we will have them out there with even more features for you, personalized features, menu coaches, recipe coaches, a lot of other features, and use social media to expand the awareness and attraction to what we've created based on the dietary guidelines. We know that interactive web-based interventions provide consumers with convenient information. We know, especially for kids, that you can ultimately change behavior, and certainly using web-based tools have an attraction to kids. So why not use them in the nutrition education sense? Well, we challenged all of America and entrepreneurs to actually do that using our data, the only nutrition data that was put up on OpenGov in the Open Government or data.gov effort. We joined forces with the Office of Science and Technology Policy at the White House, as well as the First Lady staff, and we launched Apps for Healthy Kids in March with the help of the First Lady. And we challenged software developers and game designers and students to develop creative, engaging, inviting, fun tools to empower, and games to educate not only kids and their parents. Nearly 100 games that met our standards were submitted. I invite you to go to, even though the judging has closed, to go to the website and really have a lot of fun at that site. It was a successful flagship effort for USDA. We hadn't really done this kind of challenge before. We have about $60,000 in our prize purse. GE came along. We've got 250 or so partners to help us magnify our dietary guidelines messages, and GE came along and said, hey, we'll do 20,000 of it with you and give awards to students. So we're in the process of using our judges' findings, and we're going to be announcing by the end of the month, which is coming close, all of our winners, and hopefully that leads to serious games and apps that not only the USDA but other agencies and other organizations can actually put up and help consumers. So stay tuned for a lot of innovative things for the 2010 Dietary Guidelines.